Genesis chapter 36. Now these are the generation of Esau, who is Adam. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Ada the daughter of Elon the Hittites, and Aholibam the daughter of Anak, the daughter of Gibeon the Hivites, and Bashemoth Ismail daughter, sister of Nebajoth, and Ada bare to Esau Eliphaz and Bashemoth bare Reuel, and Aholibama bare Jeshua, and Jalam and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance, which he had bought in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together, and the land wherein they were strangers could not hear them because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau is Mount Seir, Esau is Adam, and Edom. And these are the generation of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. These are the name of Esau's son. Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the wife of Esau, Reuel, the son of Bashemoth, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatham, and Kenash. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Ada, Esau's wife, and these are the sons of Reuel, Nathan, and Jerah, Shammah, and Mijah. These were the sons of Bashemoth, Esau's wives, and these were the sons of Aholibama, the daughter of Anak, the daughter of Gibeon, Esau's wife, and she bare Esau Jeus and Jalam and Korah. These were the ducats of the sons of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau. Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Jacob, Duke Kenash, Duke Korah, Duke Gatham, and Duke Amalek. These are the ducats that came of Eliphaz in the land of Adam. These were the sons of Ada, and these are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son, Duke Nathan, Duke Jephthah, Duke Shammah, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the son of Bashemoth, Esau's wife, and these are the sons of Aholibama, Esau's wife. Duke Jeus, Duke Jalam, Duke Korah. These were the ducats that came of Aholibama, the daughter of Anak, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, who is Adam, and these are their ducats. These are the sons of Seir, the Horites, who inhabited the land, Lothan and Shobal and Gibeon and Anak, and Dishan and Echer and Dishan. These are the ducats of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. And the children of Lothan were Hori and Hemam, and Lothan's sister was Timnah. And the children of Shobal were these all when and Manahath and Ebal, Shepo and Onam. And these are the children of Gibeon, both Ajah and Anak. This was the Anak that found the mules in the wilderness as he fed the asses of Gibeon his father. And the children of Anak were these Dishan and Aholibama, the daughter of Anak. And these are the children of Dishan, and Hemant, and Ishbad, and Itnar, and Cheran. The children of Ezer and are these Bilhan and Javan and Akan. The children of Dishan were these Uz and Aran. These are the duke that came of the Harits, Duke Lotan, Duke Shobal, Duke Gibeon, Duke Anak, Duke Dishan, Duke Ezer, Duke Dishan. These are the dukes that came of Hori, and among the dukes in the land of Sheir. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. And Bela the son of Beor reigned in the Edom, and the name of his city was Dinaba. And Bela died, and Jobab the son of Jerah of Boshach reigned in his stead. And Jobab died, and Husman of the land of Temani reigned in his stead. And Hushan died, and Hadad the son of Bedad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead. And the same of his city was Avith. And Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his stead. And Samlah died, and Saul of the Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead. And Saul died, and Bala Hanan the son of Akar reigned in his stead. And Bala Hanan the son of Akar died, and Hadar reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Pa, and his wife's name was Mehethabed, the daughter of the Amatid, the daughter of the Mehazahab. And these are the names of the duke that came of Asia according to their families after their place by their names: Duke Tamna, Duke Alva, Duke Zetheth, Duke Aholibama, Duke Elah, Duke Pinam, Duke Kenaz, Duke Teman, and Duke Mizbar, Duke Madian, Duke Iram. These be the dukes of Edom according to their habitation in the land of their possessions. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites. Chapter 37. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generation of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him, and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brethren, and they hated him at the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we are binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheep arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheep. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over domain over us, and they hated him at the more of his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed at another dream and told it his brethren and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the son of the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and their brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? And his brethren envied him. But his father observed the saying, and his brethren went to feed their father's flock in the Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem. Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, Here am I. And he said to him, Go, I pray thee, see whether it will be well with the brethren and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the way of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seeketh thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. And the man said, They are deported hence. For I hear them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into same pit, and we will say, Some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat, that his coat of many color that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit it is if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Then they passed by Midianites and merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. and they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned into the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes, and he returned unto his brethren and said, The child is not, and whither shall I go? And they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, This have we found now whether it be the son's coat or no. And he knew it, and said, It is my son's coat, and evil beast hath devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in peace. And Jacob rent his clothes and put shed clothes upon his lion, and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. And thus his father wept over him, and the Midianites sold him into Egypt and to Potiphar, and an offered of Pharaohs and captain of the guard. Chapter 38. And it came to pass at the time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hirar. And Judah saw there a daughters of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her, and she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Er. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chezib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for Era, his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Era, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord saved him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto the brother's wife and marry her, and rise up seed to the brother. And Onan knew the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went in into his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he saved him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at the father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house, and in process of time the daughters of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up unto him shepherds to Timnath, he and his friends Hiram the Adullamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, the father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot because she had covered her face, and he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, and thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, They signed and the bracelets and the strap that is in the thine hand. And he gave it her, and came in out unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamites to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was opened by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, Let her take it to her, lest we be ashamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after, and that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, the daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth, and let her be burnt. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, Distant, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and bracelet and strap. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travel that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she traveled that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How hast thou broken forth this breach be upon thee? And therefore his name was called Parach. And afterward came out his brethren that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Chapter 39. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, and offered of Pharaoh's captain of the guard, and Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosperous in his hand, and Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that the hand and the Lord blessed. The Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake, and the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field, and he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a godly person and well favored. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. And but he refused, and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not that what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I. Neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garments, saying, lie with me. Lay with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in out unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. And she spake unto his according to these words, saying, the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, after this manner did they servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoner were bound, and he was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph, and showed him mercy, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph and all the prisoners and that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. And the keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, that Lord made it to prisoner prosper. Lord made it to prosper. Chapter 40. And it came to pass after these things that the builder of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the builders and against the chief of the bakers, and he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard into the prison, the place where Joseph was born. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served him. And they continued a season in ward, and they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation and of his dream. The butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, and looked upon them, and behold, they were said. And he asked Pharaoh's offers that were with him in the ward of his lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretation belong to God. Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief builder told him dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were three branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossom shot forth, and the cluster therefore brought forth ripe grapes, and Pharaoh's cup was in my hand. And I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into the Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The three branches are the 3 days. And within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head, and restore thee unto the place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner, when the vast is the butler. And but think on me when it shall be well with thee, and shew kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make a mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of his house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. And when the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, As was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the uppermost baskets there was of all manners of backmeat for Pharaohs, and the birds did eat them out of the baskets upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation, therefore the 3 baskets are 3 days, and within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up the hand from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat the flesh from off thee. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butlers and of the chief baker among his servants, and he restored the chief butlers unto his butlership again. And he gave them cup into Pharaoh's hand, but he and